Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are now in level 6. We are going through Rupakathalam ideas of legendary Mridangam Vidwan Palaghat Raghu sir. Before we get into some good ideas in Rupakathalam, I will start this class with a Thirukkural. Ariya endru ahara illai pochava karuviyan potrich seyan. What is the meaning of it? மறவாமை என்னும் கருவி கொண்டு கடமைகளை சரிவர செய்து வந்தால் செய்வதற்கு அருமையானவை என்று கைவிடும் செயல்கள் எவையும் இல்லை. If a person does not have absent-mindedness, if his forgetful nature is not there, even the rarest of things he will be able to accomplish. There are no things left behind which he cannot do. So with that good thought, we will enter into the class. Today we are going to see some interesting core ways in takkittu takkadin dinna, using some phrases of taridana ketataka, how it can be developed in a complex form. Let's look at it, and I will explain by Konakol, and also I will play and show it to you. Trying to do is Tata Taridana Ketataka. Taridana Ketataka is 8. By padding with Tata, it's a fraction of 3 aksharas. It gives a 11 akshara syllable, and an emphasis of just not playing din ketataka din din na tam. Taridana Ketataka, it's simple Sarvalagu pattern, but to make it complex, he adds a 3 akshara in the beginning, and also 2 aksharas, reducing it to 2, and then the 1, so which will be 3 plus 8, 2 plus 8, and 1 plus 8. So which will be 11 aksharas, 10 aksharas, and 9 aksharas, which is Tata Taridana Ketataka, Tat Taridana Ketataka, Tat Taridana Ketataka. So if you can play with that ruggedness in the sequence, it gives a grip, and then you have to approach a core way using all these phrases. That's the approach. Takkittu takka din din na tata taridana ketataka. Takkittu takka din din na tat taridana ketataka. Dontaka din din na tang. Tat taridana ketataka. Takkittu takka din. You have to intertwine it with the core way. The core way goes like this. So it's a progression of tat taridana ketataka, ding takita ding takita ding takita ding. Tat taridana ketataka ding takita ding takita ding takita ding. Taridana ketataka tat taridana ketataka ding takita ding takita ding takita ding. Then you reduce using this ding, takita ding, takita ding, takita ding twice. Again, ding, takita ding, takita ding, takita ding. Then you have to reduce ding, takita ding, takita ding. Ding, takita ding, takita ding. Ding, takita dim, tadim, takita dim, tadim, takita dim. So when you go in the Vilamba column, ding, takita dim, tading, takita dim, tading, takita dim. That's a 6 akshara. Takadim, takajunda, ding, takita dim, tading, takita dim, tading, takita dim. So when you do it in a higher speed, ding, takita dim, tadim, takita dim, tadim, takita dim. That's how it comes. This is one of the brilliant chorway of Palaghat Raghu sirs. The same thing he approaches in a mathematical format. Let's look at how he builds 3 different variations. Here, tatat taridana keta ding takita ding takita ding takita ding. Tat taridana keta dinakita ding. From ding takita is 3, dinakita is 2. Dinakita. Then the third phrase, tat taridana keta ding. So it's 1. Ding takita 3 plus 3 plus 3. Dinakita 2 plus 2 plus 2. Keta taka. Or that is 1 plus 1 plus 1. Then he builds up 3 into 3. Taga plus 4 into 3. Takanaga tadittadikadaga. The whole chorway goes like this. This is one of the variations of his chorway. Now what he does is he reduces ding takita. Instead of triplets, he tries to do it with duplets, which is only 2 forms. Tat taridana keta ding takita ding takita ding. Tat taridana keta dinakita ding. Tat taridana keta ding. So here ding takita is 3 plus 3. Second time dinakita and kita. And whatever he has reduced in the first half, he increases in the second half with long. Whatever these 3 he reduces, he increases there, pads up towards the end, and that becomes the second variation of the chorway. The third variety, he reduces from triplets to duplets to single phrase, ding takita ding. Tatat taridana keta ding takita ding. Tat taridana keta dinakita ding. Tat taridana keta ding. First it was tak, another 6. From the 1 it is reduced 6, so he adds up 6 towards the end. That's how this third variation comes. are all the 4 variations using tatha taridana kedataka tagatari kedataka. So beauty is, whatever is simple, it tries to make and give a good effect by adding a before phrase of tat taridana kedataka tagatari kedataka, tatha taridana kedataka tagatari kedataka, tat taridana kedataka tagatari kedataka. It gives a push to that phrase and gives a ruggedness in his approach. This is one of his classic ideas. Let's get into the next sequence. What he does is dhimi dhimi taka dhimi dhimi taka dhimi dhimi nanna dhimi dhimi taka dhimi taka dhimi taka takita takadam da dhimi taka dhimi taka dhimi taka takadati takadam da dhimi taka dhimi taka dhimi taka tati takadam dhimi taka dhimi taka dhimi taka tatakadam da. So what he does is takita takadam is a 6-syllable akshara phrase. Then he makes takadati takadam, gives a different color to that 6-akshara phrase. Then he gives a pause of 1 and taddi takadam. Dhimi dhimi taka taddi takadam. So 1 plus 5. He plays with 4 and then 2 and 4, 3 and 3. Dhimi dhimi taka tang takadam dhimi. Then 3 plus 3 karve and 3. So he approaches the same phrase with different varieties and builds the story. And then he tries to play these abhiprayams. Takita takadam taddi takadam ta takadam takadam gadadam da tarigadam da tarigadam da tarigadam da. So it's a gobuchayati from 6 to 1. Takita takadam taddi takadam ta takadam takadam gadadam dhum. Tat tarigadam tat tarigadam tat tarigadam. 5 into 3. Towards the end. Now he uses this and then expands his ideas. Takita takadam tati takadam tatakadam takadam gadadam dum ta tarigadam ta tarigadam ta ga tarigadam ta. Next idea, what he played as with tat tarigadam towards the end, with a carve, with one carve. Let's see how it comes. So that is the way. Here, what is happening? 5 into 3 is 15. 7 into 3 is 21. What is the difference? 21 minus 15 is 6. This 6 is giving as part of carve. Takita takadum, tati takadum, tatakadum, takadum, kadadum, dum. So if you add these 6 carves, it's because it's increasing, so it gives another shape. 6 plus 6, another rounding. 6 plus 6, 12. So in Rupakatalam, 3 into 4 is 12. So he increases another round of Rupakatalam beat, and then he makes it another carve. Now, giving what is a revelation here? This is a concept. So when you increase one karve, you have to increase from tadikadadam to tadikadadam. When you increase 2 karve, tadikadadam becomes tadim tadikadadam. So again, it's a relational. Let's see how it comes. Takittakadam da, taditakadam da, tatakadam da, takadam da, kadadam da, dum da, ta ga, kadadaga tarikadam da ga, kadadaga tarikadam da ga, kadadaga tarikadam da. Let's look at another interesting concept for the midpoint. Takittakadum, takitakadum, tatakadum, takadum, kadum, dum, taga, tarikadum, taga, tarikadum, taga, tarikadum, ta. That's the midpoint. Now we will see an interesting idea, and I'll explain you after I tell it. Takitta takadum, tati takadum, tatakadum, takadum, kadum, dum, taga, ti, ki, taga, dung, ta, ti, ta, dum, da, di, ketta, dunda, di, ketta, tata, di, ketta, tata, di, ketta, tata. If you look at the progression carefully, it's not fully played. The last syllable is shrunk. Taga, tigi, kigi, taga, dung. The last one becomes from 4 to 3. The next progression, ta, di, ki, ta, dhum. From 3 to 2. Taddikitta, dhunda dikitta tom. From 2 to 1. Taddikitta, dhunda dikitta, taddikitta. It's an interesting pattern of 4-4-4-4-3, 3-3-3-3-2, 2-2-2-2-1, and then 5 into 3. That's how it's been settled into this idea. Let's look on some more interesting ideas using these patterns. Takitta takadam ta dung, tati takadam ta dung, tatakadam ta dung, tadi ketakam darikadam, tadi ketakam darikadam, tadi ketakam darikadam. Now let's look one more different idea, how he builds, evolves from Takitta Takadam pattern itself. Takitta Takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, tati takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, ta takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, adi, ketakka, darikadam, kadadi, ketakka, darikadam, tadadi, ketakka, darikadam. So the pattern here, Takitta Takadam is 6. Tak, dung, is all 6. So he makes that into a beautiful combination of collective pieces. Tati takadum is 5. Tad dhung is also 5. So he makes that as a group of 5. Tatakadum is 4. Tadhung, 1 plus 3 is again 4. He makes it a group of 4. So all 6, all 5s, all 4s. Then tadikkadaga, tadhi ketaka tadikkadaga, kadadadi ketata tadikkadaga, tadadadi ketata tadikkadaga. So this is the idea. That's another idea. Now, here it thinks about how he can improvise this form, the later half, in a magnificent way. Tadi kettakum darikadagadang, kadadadi kettakum darikadagadang, tadadadi kettakum darikadagadang. Yeah, kedataga he uses, tadadari kedataga he uses. That is 2, tadadari kedataga is 4. So 6. Now what he does is, instead of these 6 karvai, he gives taka, takanaka. So he reduces the karvai from 6, 2 and 4 to 1 and 2. Then what he does is, he increases these 3 extra to takitta takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, tati takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, ta takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung. Adi, ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang. The second half is shrunk on the karvai, and then he improvises. Instead of 6, he uses 7. Tadik ketatam. Tadik ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang. So the whole karvai becomes like this. Takitta takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, tati takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung, ta takadam ta, dung, ta, dung, ta, dung. Adi, ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang, tadadi, ketakam darikadagadang. that you have to play. So these are all the variations using Takita Takadam. So what we saw in this class, how you can make it more rugged by adding few aksharas before to make it beautiful, and then play as a storyboard, make with the combinations of 11 akshara, 10 akshara, 9 akshara, and then get into the korvai. Then we saw the variations of how the Purvangam and Uttarangam, how beautifully he has changed, accommodated to give a different color to the korvai, different colors. And then we got into the Takita Takadam phrase, and how by interluding a karvai, how we get a beautiful korvai in different forms we saw. We also saw a concept of tha, di, ki, ta, dhum, the different progression where only the last syllable gets shrunk with the earlier, which is, if it's 4 it becomes 3, if it's 3 it becomes 2, 2 becomes 1, and then the progression. So it's an interesting progression and a concept. You can build on this concept on many different ideas. So obviously, any concept you can use it and adapt it for your own variations. And then we saw with Takita Takadam many other different korvais of grouping and how beautifully grouped and how we made these progressions. These are all mathematical and intellectual. The main idea of Raghu Mama ideas, thoughts, are to ensure your thala becomes perfect. That's the idea. The different mathematical approaches ensures how these odd numbers like 1 thalli, 3 thalli, the 1 akshara off the base and 3 akshara off the base, how you settle your thala beautifully, that's what you learn here. When you do these exercises, your thala becomes so rugged, and that's the power of his, and that's why he's able to play magnificent patterns all through his career. I will conclude this class with a Thirukkural. புகழ்ந்தவை போற்றிச் செயல் வேண்டும் செய்யாது இகழ்ந்தார்க்கு எழுமையும் எல். What is the meaning of it? அறநூலார் புகழ்ந்து கூறிய செயல்களை விடாமல் செய்ய வேண்டும். அவ்வாறு செய்யாமல் மறந்தவர்க்கு 7 பிறப்பிலும் நன்மை இல்லை. The people who have authored books about the wisdom and good deeds, what you need to do, you need to follow that religiously. If you forget that, then even in the next 7 births, you don't have a choice and you cannot live the life fully. That's the crux of this Thirukkural. With this good thought, I'm concluding this class. I will see you in the next class with more ideas and Rupagatha.
Mm-hmm.